Hi guys, doing my round 3 update for AC. I'm actually day 2 of round 4 now. I had my last infusion of AC yesterday, my last dance with the Red Devils. I'm feeling quite relieved. Obviously, I know I've still got this cycle's worth of symptoms to plow through, but oh my gosh, the relief. I know I've also got 12 sessions of Taxol to get through, but I am hearing that Taxol is generally much better tolerated than AC, so I am feeling so relieved. Um, so I just wanted to do an update of round 3 symptoms, how I've coped, any new things that have happened. I thought I'd start the video today talking about my hair and my head because it's something that comes up in all of my videos, and understandably for most of us going through chemotherapy, hair loss is a major factor. So here's where I'm at with it. My hair actually head looks really smooth here in this lighting because I'm in my car and it's not the best lighting. But it's incredibly stubbly, and yeah, I can't actually show you in this, but I've got a lot of stubble. And so I don't know. I mean, I definitely didn't lose 100% of my hair. I didn't cold cap. Um, I know I've obviously got Taxol still to go, but a lot of people say, once the shedding has happened, I don't think it sort of happens in stages. And certainly not with the hair on the head. That's at least that's not what I've heard. I've heard of people who've actually had hair grow back on Taxol, probably obviously towards the end. So I don't know if I'm going to lose this. I've got quite a lot of stubble, certainly down here and at the back. That is not new growth. It's actually hair that just never fell out. Now, when I rub my head, I do still get the odd hair. So I do think some of this possibly would come out if I were using maybe a lint roller or I shaved it sort of closer, which I'm not going to do because I'm not going to nick my head. But yeah, odd that. I found that in other areas of the body too where there's been a lot of hair loss, but there'll be like the odd stray hair that just doesn't want to budge. My funny story that I've been sharing with a lot of people is I had bilateral reduction and lift as part of my lumpectomy, and they moved my areolas, they reduced them significantly, and yet somehow some little hairs around the areola have decided to grow again very quickly. It's only been 3 months since I had my surgery, not even. Just about to be. And I try to pull on them thinking, well, my hair's loose in a lot of places, but no, they want to stick it out. So, yay for boob hairs. Anyway, they did get plucked out. I don't like boob hairs. So, there you go. So this round, yeah. So anyway, hair. The other thing I was going to say about my hair is I often record these videos when I'm bald, and that's just because, like, not wearing any heavy coverings or anything. It's because I do them usually in the evening at the end of the day, and we are in summer still here in Sydney. So by the end of the day, it's quite nice to just have the freedom of nothing on my head. But I do tend to now mostly wear chemo caps of different types. I might see if I can at some point insert pictures, but at the moment I'm just doing basic uploads of what I'm saying. But yeah, so I have various different ones, some turbans and things. They're okay and they're quite pretty, and I do feel okay in them. The wig is the ideal because it makes me feel like myself, but in this weather and when I'm not feeling 100%, the last thing I want to do is try and put the wig on. Also, because I bought synthetic wigs that are not super expensive, they really do feel a bit ratty, the hair itself. It's not so much even the heat on the head, it's more I don't like the rattiness of it when I'm pressing, pushing it back. It looks nice, but it feels ratty, and I can't tie it back. The fringe gets in my way. It looks wonderful, and I can't complain about that, but when you're already feeling sticky and uncomfortable, it's not ideal. So I haven't really been wearing the wig too much, but I'm glad that I have the wigs there to supplement, and when I'm having a good day, and I think hopefully during Taxol that might happen more, and as the weather changes here in Sydney, sadly summer is nearly over, then I might actually wear the wig more. I'm also thinking about getting one of those ones that just sort of attaches to the bottom of a cap, or a chemo cap, and it's a little bit nicer, the quality of the hair. And I have also got a nicer quality synthetic wig off eBay that is better quality hair and it's heat resistant, can be styled. But again, I just haven't really had the time or the energy or the effort to look after those ones at the moment and do the styling. And with my synthetic ones, I haven't washed my synthetic one either, so it's really getting more ratty than it needs to. Anyway, I'm not ashamed of the bald head, and I will go out with the bald head. My youngest prefers me to have a covering on, so I do tend to wear a covering around him. And when I go to work, it's, I initially had planned to wear a wig, but I have given up on that and just told my clients what's actually going on, in a nutshell. And that's been a lot better because it means I don't have that pressure. Anyway, we're now 5 minutes into video and I haven't really talked about round 3 of AC. So round 2 was pretty hard for me. If you watched my video, by the end of the round and when I recorded the full update, I was in a lot of better spirits. But yeah, I definitely struggled with round 2. I didn't drink enough, I didn't rest enough, and I felt like I was going through hell for a lot of days, and I didn't have the same recuperation as round 1. Understandably, my body was going from a lower baseline, but I struggled with dehydration. I didn't find the fog really lifted until a lot later, and I didn't have as many good days. So round 3, I was certainly apprehensive going into it, and probably my summation of round 3 is it wasn't worse than round 2. And so that was a good thing, because I was thinking cumulatively, oh my God, what am I heading into? And I've still got round 4 to go. It wasn't worse than round 2. I think I had a better attitude. Obviously, the shedding of the hair, it all happened in round 2 too, which made it harder. Round 3, though, it was the point of me going, I don't want to wear the wig anymore, and kind of just tolerating, I suppose, a different self-image, which was tricky. But in terms of symptoms, I took more of my medications, the anti-nausea meds. I drank Powerade and Hydralyte, which definitely helped. I ate more variety of food, and because each round I did build up newer versions of the food and drink of the previous round, I tend to find sometimes that's a good thing, because I'm not eating KFC this round like I was the round before. It just doesn't taste good. So round 3, I think I did still have some KFC, but I certainly won't be doing that in round 4. So I didn't have constipation. I actually had Caloxil that I got from the pharmacist in Caloxil Senna, or I think it's called, but I didn't actually end up having to use it because I had regular bowel movements, unlike round 2. So there were a few things that weren't the same added problems. I also took pretty much the entire week to 10 days off after the infusion, which worked for that cycle because my little boy was starting school, and it just meant, again, there was a lot less pressure on me. So only other new things in round 3, I definitely still having the cough. It tends to be worse in the second half of the cycle. I think it is definitely related to the chemo as opposed to a virus or infection of any kind, because there are no other symptoms. Other than a little kind of sore spot on my neck towards the end again as well of the round, which I don't know, it could be a sore. It could be like a lower mouth sore, or it could just be inflamed from all the coughing that happens. It's not great. It does impact on my sleep, but it's not the worst thing ever either. And I also got conjunctivitis as well this round, but I think that was mainly due to the fact that one of my littlest, he had conjunctivitis, and it spreads like anything. So I don't think it was chemo related, although my eyes do water a lot during chemo, but I believe a lot of people say it's the dryness that can lead to conjunctivitis. Anyway, it's not bad. I mean, I wake up in the morning and my eyes are glued together. I'm not wearing mascara anymore. I think that exacerbated it because I did have a few days where I wore mascara when I was starting to feel a little bit better and wanted to look a bit more well presented. But I thought I was losing my eyelashes, but I think it was a result of the conjunctivitis. I don't think my eyelashes are actually thinning yet. And my eyebrows, I don't know, again, I feel like they look a bit thinner, but I don't think they are. I don't think I'm losing hair off my face yet. I know it will happen, but that's okay. That's later down the track. I think also round 3, I'm getting confused now between rounds. Yes, I think on the weekend, so it would have been about day 4 of round 3, I woke up in the morning and I felt a little bit of a pain and stiffness at one of the parts of my wound side, and so off my breast, and so there is one suture, dissolvable suture, that's actually pointing out, and I did try to clip it with nail clippers that were not sterile probably a week or so before that, or maybe a few days before that. Not a smart idea, and I think that I led to maybe a very mild skin infection. But I went to see my GP, who gave me a script for Careflex, and that cleared it up, and the oncologist had a look at it at my appointment this Monday past, so a few days ago, and said that it looked fine. To leave the suture, it will dissolve, it will disappear eventually. It's just they don't dissolve so well when they're not completely inside the flesh, but he said not to touch it, so I won't. But yeah, overall, the worst part of round 3 has been the bad taste in the mouth, and the fact that I don't have the best taste buds. Eating most foods isn't as pleasurable, and that gets me down because I love food. But one thing I've found that does help is I eat more flavorful food. So I did eat Indian food at the beginning of this round, and I love Indian food. I am Indian, but I got some reflux because I overdid it. So Indian food's not really quite there, and some of the spices are a little harsher, whereas Thai food is my go-to, and that was my go-to through my pregnancy with my first child too. Pad Thai got me through morning sickness and aversions. Pad See Ew is working well, but yeah, anything Thai related I seem to be able to manage. I still get a bad taste in my mouth afterwards, but I enjoy it as I'm eating, and I'm craving a lot of chicken breast, which is obviously good for me as well. So whilst I'm still not eating like healthy food, like I'm not having salads, and I'm not having the balanced meals that I want to work towards long term, I am having enough that my bowels are moving regularly, which is good. I haven't gained or lost weight, I don't think significantly. I've pretty much plateaued, but because I'm drinking a lot of Powerade, sugary Powerade, and also I still am living off things like iced chocolate and any sort of milk drink for my hydration, my body shape at the moment looks different. My tummy definitely looks a lot more bloated than I'd like it to be, but I'm not gaining weight, which is good because you hear a lot of stories of people who gain quite a bit of weight on chemo from steroids and things like that, and I'm not having that effect yet. Obviously, I'm not out of the woods yet. I've just finished my AC round 4, so I'm only 6 weeks still into this, and I've got another 14 weeks or nearly to go. But so far so good. I haven't gained. I've probably lost about 1 kilo over the course of that 6 weeks, and that was just losing the Christmas weight really, because I started straight after Christmas. So the bad taste in the mouth is still hard. It still makes it hard to hydrate. I am hydrating better, but I'm only probably making it to about 1 to 1.2 litres, where I really should be aiming for over 2 litres, to really flush this out. And I'm still possibly, not getting close to that, even with the types of fluids that I am having. Peaches is the other thing this round. Peaches and nectarines, like they're in season at the moment, and I'm definitely craving them a lot, and generally enjoying them. A lot of sweet things I don't enjoy. I had sticky date pudding and ice cream the other night with my friends, and it wasn't worth it. It's usually one of my favourite puddings, but it just doesn't taste of anything good. Too sweet, don't like it. But I'm hoping that this is short-lived. I have heard the taste buds don't necessarily return till after chemo, so even Taxol may not be the cure. But the fact is that I am still able to enjoy some foods. So we'll stick with the Thai food. So that's kind of the end of round 3, but I'll also just give you a little extra update going into round 4. So I did have the infusion yesterday, and I drank a lot more in the morning because they'd had a bit of an issue. I'm having it through IV, through a cannula. I don't have a port or a PICC line. And they basically, last time they struggled a little bit, but I did think I hadn't drunk enough. This time I drank more, but I probably still wasn't the best hydrated, and it took them, they try usually the left arm first because that's the opposite arm from the cancer and the central node removal, and they basically, I think, tried 3 times on that arm. They even used this UV sort of light to find and locate the vein, but the vein just kept collapsing or hiding, like slipping away, which they could be to do with hydration. But I think I've read a lot of people, chemo does impact your veins. So they eventually did get it in on the right hand side, but they have referred it to, I think, one of the sort of clinical nurses in oncology to talk to me about a port, because I do still have 12 weekly sessions of Taxol. So at this stage, I think it's quite likely that I will have a port placed within the next 2 weeks to prepare for Taxol. I'm not that upset about that, because at the end of the day, it's better than stressing about these veins. Even when I get blood tests now, they've been struggling. So I have to get a lot of blood tests still. I've still got another 12 rounds of chemo. If it's going to make it easier, I'll do it. I don't know enough about the surgery. I've asked a few people, obviously, in the group, and I've heard people talk about it online. I'm not concerned. Surgeries don't worry me too much. Yes, I'm going to have that, possibly it's probably going to be around here somewhere, and it'll look a little bit odd. I think my kids will find that interesting, but but I'll do it if that's what they recommend. So yeah, all in all, that is my update. Emotionally, I definitely have had my days where it's been hard because I don't like having no energy and not having any hair, and it's been hard, but I'm feeling quite charged now because that's it. I've done it. I didn't think I would get into that centre and do it voluntarily, but by the time I got to AC round 4, I was like, go for it. Let's get this done. I want this over. And so, yeah, like I said, I'm on day 2. I'm feeling okay, which is usual. Day 2, I get some nausea and I just take my meds, and I struggle a bit to eat and drink, and get a bit fatigued, but it's not been terrible. Oh, the only other change was my oncologist has also prescribed some extra dexamethasone. So I was having 2 tablets for day 2 and 3. Now he's also prescribed an extra half a tablet for days 4 and 5. Although when we spoke, it was more around the days that I go back to work, which actually be 6 and 7. So I'm not sure whether I'll take it 4 and 5 or 6 and 7. I don't think it will make a difference, like significantly. It's quite a small dose, but that was more because he did think that continuing to work would be a good idea, and the only way that I can really do that is to have a little bit more energy. So I'm not working as much on day 6 this time. I am going to work, unlike last cycle, but I've cut my loads quite significantly, so I know I can do it, because even in round 2 I did a reduced load, but still 5 clients on that day, and whilst it felt like it was killing me, I did do it. But this time I'm doing 3 instead. So even if I'm not taking the dexamethasone, or even if it doesn't make a huge difference on that day, I think I'll survive it. I'm just, as you can see, just so relieved that I will not have to have the red devil again, because it has been so hard. I know that it's not the devil because it's actually helping me, and it's helping to increase my longevity potentially of my life, and to never get breast cancer back and not have metastatic breast cancer. But gosh, it's been hard. But you know what? If I can do it, you can do it. I was a baby in round 2 and 3, but I got through, and you can too. So never ever give up. We don't give up, because our life is more important than the pain that we feel. But just show yourself lots of compassion when you're feeling it. I actually don't have a lot of pain. Talking of pain, I haven't had bone pain and things like that. I've had some sort of joint weakness and things like that, but but nausea and the lack of taste and the bad taste and struggling to drink has been what's really demoralized me. And we all have our own battles to fight. We have slightly different symptoms. Some have more, some have less, but you got to do it. If the doctor says we got to do it, we're going to do it, because we're going to kick cancer to the curb. So I know the red devil seems awful, but it's doing it for us. It's doing what we need. I will update you on Taxol. My first infusion is in 2 weeks. I'm hoping that goes well. And otherwise, I'm in okay health. I haven't had a period, by the way. Since I started Zoladex, I have not had a period. So I'm at about 55 days now. And that's been fine. I don't miss my period. I think I do feel a bit bloated, and they said that's not because of the Zoladex, the doctors, but I think it's got to play a part, the hormonal aspect. But other than that, I have escaped some of the symptoms. I'm not having hot flashes yet. We'll wait and see if Taxol increases that. But yeah, we can do it. And in hindsight, yes, there were some hard days, but there were also some good days. And the best thing is that I'm saying goodbye to breast cancer, and I'm going to be able to live knowing that I've done everything I can to avoid metastatic breast cancer and be here for the people that I love. And you can do it too. I love all of you ladies who are watching this. I love all the people in my Chemo Buddies peer support group. You guys are wonderful, and the feedback and the support you give me just absolutely warms my heart. Oh, and one last plug. One last plug before I finish. It's nothing to do with chemo or breast cancer. It's I think it's called Furball Farm Pet Sanctuary, some configuration of that. I credit those kitties and those volunteers who've made this beautiful non-for-profit sanctuary for feral animals for what got me through round 3. Watching those kitties go live with their beautiful volunteers every day has warmed my heart so much. So my chemo tip for this week, for this round, was, I think I said this last time, it was, if you can, float in a pool of cool water. So good. Helps me so much. Obviously hydrate, sleep a lot, and be kind to yourself, and watch Furball Farm Pet Sanctuary. Also want to add to that, Polly, Rosie and Finn. Along came Polly, Rosie and Finn. Beautiful, beautiful channel or page on Facebook of golden retrievers. And Katie Sims Cats. She's got a beautiful rescue cat, feral cat called Tom Tom, and there's other beautiful siblings. And finally, last plug, the Magnificent Cats. I think it's Magnificants, Tob and the Magnificants. Oh my god, these pet channels are just lifesavers. I am an animal lover, self-proclaimed, very proud cat lady, but they have got me through chemo, so they deserve a massive plug. And finally, one last one. You can tell I'm still high on steroids. Grizzly True Crime. I love true crime. It's another thing that gets me through when I need distraction. And Gizla and Grizzly True Crime, another wonderful, wonderful YouTube channel. I have no affiliations with anybody here. They're just people I've come across who have got me through my chemo journey. And if they do ever watch this, I hope they know they've contributed so positively to my life. And hopefully some of these might be interesting to you too. Anyway, love you all. I will update you for round 4, and come on Taxol, be my friend. Love you guys. Bye.